In occupied Europe during World War II, working as a clandestine radio operator was practically a death sentence. Discovery by enemy forces resulted in immediate arrest. Operators faced brutal, systematic interrogation by the Gestapo, followed by almost certain execution. The life expectancy for someone transmitting deep behind enemy lines was measured in weeks. It required a chilling comfort with violence and constant, suffocating fear. Yet the person wearing this uniform, Noor Inayat Khan, stepped directly into that void. She did not fit the profile of a hardened military operative. One of the deadliest jobs in the entire war was taken up willingly by a woman who had been raised, quite literally, to harm no one. Popular accounts often shorthand her identity by calling her an Indian princess. The history is more grounded. She was a direct descendant of Tipu Sultan, the 18th century ruler of Mysore.
Her father, Hazrat Inayat Khan, was a prominent Sufi spiritual teacher and musician. He raised his family on principles of religious tolerance, peace, and nonviolence. Growing up in pre-war Paris, Noor's world revolved around that idealism. She studied child psychology, played the harp, and wrote children's stories. Friends and family described her as quiet, creative, and deeply gentle. She was the last person anyone expected to navigate a shadow war of espionage. She had zero foundation in combat or aggression. Her ultimate decision to join the war effort required a massive ideological leap over everything she had ever been taught. That leap was forced in 1940. Nazi forces marched into Paris, instantly turning Noor's home into a hostile occupation zone. She faced an immediate moral crisis. Her deeply ingrained pacifism was now colliding head-on with the violent spread of fascism across Europe. She and her brother decided they could not sit by and let others fight. They fled to England, choosing to leave passivity behind and volunteer for the Allied war effort. Noor was eventually recruited into Britain's Special Operations Executive. She trained specifically for the highly technical, non-combat role of a wireless radio operator. She didn't abandon her peaceful roots to learn these skills. She realized that participating in the war was the only way left to defend them. Noor hauled this bulky metal radio set across enemy territory, setting it up in hidden locations to transmit codes to London. But every time she put those headphones on and tapped a message, she broadcasted her exact location to the enemy. The German military had specialized detection teams. They drove sophisticated direction-finding vans through the streets of Paris, sweeping the airwaves to hunt down rogue signals. To stay ahead of them, she packed up her heavy equipment and bluffed through Gestapo checkpoints. She had to constantly find a new safe house for her next transmission. And she did this entirely alone. As the Gestapo slowly arrested her calls, the dragnet tightened, leaving her isolated in a hostile city. Evading capture in this environment didn't require action movie hand-to-hand combat. It required exhausting psychological endurance and nerves of absolute steel. Eventually, the network around her completely collapsed. London ordered her to evacuate, but she refused to abandon her post, realizing she was the last vital communication link left in Paris. She was betrayed by an informant. The Gestapo arrested her in October 1943, abruptly ending her time in the shadows. The following interrogation was brutal. Her captors demanded operational codes and the locations of her contacts. She was transferred through harsh prison environments in Germany, kept in chains, and subjected to repeated hardship in stark, freezing conditions. As a prisoner, her mission changed. No longer able to transmit data, she weaponized her silence. Prison records detail a staggering level of defiance. She made multiple daring escape attempts, at one point actually making it out of her cell and onto the prison roof before being recaptured. For 10 solid months, through interrogations and isolation, she refused to give the Gestapo a single piece of actionable intelligence. She never betrayed her comrades. In September 1944, she was transferred to the Dachau concentration camp, where she was executed. Her captors held total physical control over her, yet they failed entirely to break her will. Her silence remained intact to the very end. After the war, the full scale of her actions came to light. She was posthumously awarded the George Cross by Britain and the Croix de Guerre by France, some of the highest military honors in existence. Today, physical memorials stand in London and Paris, ensuring her specific role in global history remains visible. We look at the terrifying odds of wartime espionage and ask what kind of person willingly takes that on.
Noor Inayat Khan left us the answer. The capacity to withstand unimaginable terror doesn't always come from a lifetime of toughness. Often, history's most unbreakable legends are built by the quietest people.